Remember, this goes out on, Sky tomorrow.
Yeah. I suppose you want to keep it somewhat
decent.
25k.
That's inviting trouble now, really, isn't it?
Look at this.
Michael's got a real hand.
This is inviting trouble. Lucas raises the button. Michael 3-bets from the small pocket kings. Ryan checking his opponent's stack, even though they just started the tournament.
50, I think. Maybe. 8. Oh, just $1 million to start.
Fold that, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to fold 5, 6
Putting
suited.
it into his 4 betting range against somebody like Michael.
Yeah, it just doesn't. We always say when you're 4 betting, you want to block some of the stronger hands. So ace X's are always good. 5, 6 suited don't really block anything. Albeit it's a pretty hand.
Well,
John.
it blocks 5, 6 suited.
It does. And Lucas will call in position with Queen 8 of hearts.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah.
And wow, 8, 8, 7.
Michael's
Michael,
not running good.
Yeah, in trouble again. Obviously, this flop looks really good for him. Bets 75. Even has the king of clubs.
Flat call here, or do you raise?
I think he's just going to call and allow Michael to continue to bluff. I think everybody wants to be raising 8-8-7 in position. You want to call with your draws and call with your strong hands. Given you're going to have draws and weak hands more often than you're going to have trips. Five. Semi-interesting card. Some hands would turn straight draws now. 7-6.
10 seconds.
Obviously 6-9 makes a straight. Michael, of course, such an aggressive player, is just going to keep on pumping here. Thinks he has the best hand. Charge draws. Can get heroed by a 7. Perhaps a pocket pair.
How come this pot's so big?
10 seconds.
Is Lucas going to use one of his time chips?
On.
Wow, he just decides to move all in on the turn, John. And Michael doesn't think he'll do that with an 8, so he quickly calls. And just like that, we have a 1.7 million chip pot between these two friends.
Why are you more confident than I am?
Chatting away earlier.
Not today.
Have you got me covered 6?
No.
Well, Michael down to just 150k already.
Well, that's going to go in.
Yeah. 15 big blinds. He was the last man in. Maybe the first man out.
Big pot. Big pot.
6.
And he gets snapped by Timex in the big, who wakes up with kings. 2 unders to the kings. 9 in the window. Queen, queen, 9. Wow. As flops go, that's a pretty good one. And another 9 for good measure on the river. Timex down to just 5 big blind. This plays very deep. Usman will have to play very carefully here with these kings. 3-bet. That's 3-bet pretty big.
That's going to be a call.
I like this line. He's going to flat with nearly all his hands, so it makes sense to put kings in there as well.
Your heads up in his hand. Do as well on that, mate.
Well, a 10-8-7 flop. Richard with top pair and a gut shot, but Usman's kings still good.
Check.
Very well disguised.
Check. Still heads up.
Richard checks back his top pair. Turn 6, making E9 a straight.
Away from the table you are. Check.
Usman checks again. Suspect Richard may check back once more.
check.
Well, there might be a little delay because we're up there now.
He does 10 on the turn. Gives Richard the winning hand. Does bring backdoor clubs in. Usman perhaps deciding if he can get a little bit of value out of Richard here. His mind only really loses to a 9. Richard, though, did check back the flop
1 million.
with a 10. And he has bet 1 million. Richard calls. Usman will show kings. Richard will flip over his trip 10s.
Got trip 10s. Jack kicker.
Well, small pot there. Could have been a lot bigger on that flop.
Trip 10s are playing well for you today.
Yeah.
Got bored after about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I thought you'd be in. There's been so much PLO action here.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be more your.
Yeah, it would be, but I've kind of, after long days in here, it's hard to then sit down and play. Brain's a little bit fried.
Sure, yeah.
But it doesn't stop me playing UTH.
Ah, UTH.
And I've been doing it in quite handsomely.
That's been quite a welcome addition to the Dust Till Dawn, or even the UK. It was not even a thing. I think Dust Till Dawn literally brought it in because everyone came back from Vegas, discovered this new game. And were like,
yeah,
oh, this is awesome. And I think they were more than happy to accommodate.
Give the punters what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday I was basically on a wait list to get in the game.
Really?
It's that popular. You know?
Yeah.
It's quite frustrating because I played a few times in different sessions where I keep meaning to play with Fraser Mack because I enjoy playing out with him in Vegas and stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a good crack. And every time I come past where I'm too busy to play and I'm walking through the bar on breaks from here, I see him. And he's sitting there with absolute stacks in front of him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, another 3 grand today. Oh, yeah. Another 4 grand. Oh, I won 2 grand this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, I keep missing these sessions where we win. I just play and lose.
Yeah. I found it hard to win at that game. One of my friends hit the Royal Flush jackpot here for like 25 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite good. Just had like 10-4 off with the 10 of spades and just like made it.
Well, quickly, we have an all-in here that will be called. Jason opening queens under the gun. Jamie finding kings again.
Kings on the button again.
Just 10 bigs this time, the rejam. Obviously, you're going to get called against an under the gun open, but a bit unfortunate for Jason. The queens are no good.
Hey, Sam. You okay? Simon Trump has just joined us in the booth.
Strolls in.
Yes.
Coffee. He always comes in for the big moments.
Kings against queens.
As we see Queen 10-3. There are backdoor spade and straight draws for Jamie. Well, they're not materialising. Just the king will do it. Ace on the river, no use.
Yeah,
Look at that. Jason.
Sickening, isn't it, Simon? That is a sick way to go.
Jason up
this
to
one on the
13
No.
million.
Yeah.
Do you want a mic, Simon? Is there a third one? This is the voice of UK poker we've got in the booth here.
He's actually hasn't been confirmed. Claims to be his cousin. Says says Anton
allegedly.
Says Anton has 3 nipples. I think we need proof.
Okay, how would we get that proof? And the other question I have is, are all 3 nipples operational?
How many of your nipples are operational, Andy?
I'm just trying to throw a curveball at him, just to see if he cracks and says, no, he only has 2 nipples.
I'm cracking.
I'm not his cousin.
Speaking of cracking, we are heading towards the break. I'm going to ask you a question after this hand.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a very important question that you should all pay attention to. Davide limps the small. Johannes, the Swede, the crazy Swede. Looks down at
He is very short, so I think in some ways the best way to play this is to just not raise.
Interesting.
So I would regard it as a mistake here to raise. Or if it is a raise, it's just double the blind.
I mean, Davide does limp jam some hands, so I can understand a raise. But yeah, there is an argument for checking back.
You play.
Even 20,000 more, you know, but if he raises any more than that, I'd regard it as a mistake.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're trying to say.
I just think Davide does limp jam some hands, so you've got to give him a chance to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're wrong about.
Yeah, let's do it.
You having one, yeah? You having one?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And that's a pretty small raise.
it's still, you know, he's so short, you know. Any raise there is
since we've had a few drinks.
it's huge, you know.
It's less than 2.5 bigs. I don't think you can get any less than that,
Defending
really.
7 deuce and stuff like that.
Davide, of course, will continue with 5-3 suited to that size.
Been doing that. So you had done our aces.
I'm testing him. I'm making the raises a little bit bigger every time.
I would have folded it 7 for a
9-5-4. Well, he's going to get in trouble here.
They're going to get the chips in.
Defended 7-2, so there's no cut.
It'll be.
But he has a cut off with the size of the sizing.
Let's say he made his jam.
Right.
That's why I'm testing.
3x, he folds
You'll never find
He's checked, but it's going to be a check raise.
And the beer is making
Yeah,
the
maybe with the
sizing
stack sizes of play here.
bigger and bigger. So.
Not bet size, but
Stack
might just
X
decide
after
to
the
move in.
break.
See if it's 40,000. He's not going to just call, so he's going to stick it in.
And then as you drink more, it comes back into play.
It's gone smaller now, so Davide can just call. But again, may still decide just
But what
to
the flop
raise.
was, I think I did reasonably well.
I would agree.
I like this.
Yeah.
I should have put you
Well,
on
this
7-2
card
and
seals
then
it.
flop.
I'm glad it
now.
didn't pair up. My one, anyway.
Now go.
Would it come 7 dudes?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Davide's going to put it in this time, even though I was wrong last time. No, he's checked again.
Well, he's going to check and allow Johannes
bet
to put it in.
big.
He's obviously,
Oh, yeah.
he's really actually hoping this just goes check, and then he knows his 5 is almost certainly good.
Okay.
But you feel, is there any fold in, or if Johannes pushes here?
No, he's not
In a couple
folding
seconds.
with a pair and
Up
opening it.
to all in about 10 seconds.
There's some ace-x hands that are going to bluff because they've got a gut shot draw now. Maybe try and make him fold a 5 or a 4. Some spade draws.
If we're just for the students of body language, yeah. If you look a bit closer at Johannes, he looks very strong. He looks very strong. I mean, he's doing some of the breathing. He's doing a bit of the head movement, but it's very different. It's almost like slow. You can feel his head moving slower. There's no twitchiness to him at all. It all feels quite, you know, hey, I'm strong here.
Right, he's bet 45. Davide again, that sizing. That's fine. Just
Well, I do think that's a bit too small because you're letting these hands in and they're getting the price. So,
and there it
there
is.
you go.
Straight
And he
on the
got
river.
the price. So I think he's just been a bit too tricky.
I think Davide should just jam here at the spot.
Oh, 100%. Like,
Only 202,000 back, 244 in the middle. It's a card he's going to want to bluff some of the time.
and we're going to see Johannes doing the St. Vitus's dance here whenever Davide shoves into him.
It's a really tough spot when he gets shoved into. You know, Johannes can never have a 3 here the way the hand's played out. He never raises pre with a 3. He doesn't bet twice here with a 3 like that. So he never has a straight, and that makes it a good bluff spot for Davide. I think Johannes just has to call this one.
I feel for Johannes here. Definitely feel for him. But I would sort of say generally it looks like he's given away way too much with his body language generally. So he's going to need to look at that moving forward. Here it goes. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
half.
10,
quarter,
9,
8, 16. Trying to help you out here, Andy.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I think he just has to call here. He just doesn't really have any strong hands. This is about as strong as it gets. You have to call this bet some of the time. This seems like a pretty good hand to do it with.
And
not ideal having the king of spades. I guess you'd rather your opponent turns its flush
tough
draws.
man. I think it's just one of those things. He's getting nearly 4 to 1. So
well, it's 2 to 1 because he's only got 200. So it was 2 into 240, I think. So he's getting a little over 2.
200 into 744,000.
But the bet's 500.
Oh right,
Pot's
okay.
244 heading into. So he's got to call 202
Okay.
to win. What?
You're much more. You're very good at this, aren't
It's
you?
almost like it's my job.
Yeah, it is your job. Yeah, thank you for that. I was thinking, God, that pot's a bit big. Where did all those chips come from? But look, on the plus side for Johannes, he is taking his time. You know, very rarely on the river are people betting without you being beaten at this point. You know, I mean, that is one of the real statistics in poker. Not that it doesn't happen, but much less than you'd think.
All right.
So sometimes odds go out the window, and if somehow he can find a fold here, you know, I know I'm guessing. It wouldn't surprise me if Johannes hasn't played too many of these things. So this might be a real big deal for him, you know. I think he's decided. I feel like he feels like he's given up the ghost. He's going to put him in. Feels like he's going. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad call.
No.
We'll
He's tried his best here. I think the funky mistake was maybe 4 straight, you know, and he was a bit too funky, you know.
Yeah, he was
on the flop, the
action.
25,000 bet. You know what he's now done is he's given the guy a price on every straight, which is too generous.
Oh,